Good morning, dear students. We were discussing about teaching learning process, and we started with teaching learning process with the definitions and meaning of teaching learning and the details of learning we have seen, and laws of learning, factors influencing learning. These all things we have seen, and also we have started with the teaching, like principles of teaching we have discussed in the last class. So now we will discuss about maxims of teaching. So, what is maxims of teaching is nothing but that is a general conduct of a teacher while teaching, how she has to behave in the class or how she has to proceed in teaching. So, that is the maxims of teaching. It is nothing but general conduct, CONDUCT, conduct of teacher. So, the first, these are very easy topics. So, just you can list down and understand what are the maxims of teaching, write the explanations also. The first one is proceed from known to unknown. So, it's a very known fact. So, we have to start from known to unknown. So, whenever we are starting a class, we should give an introduction for each topic so that we are analyzing the known facts and we have to proceed to the unknown. So, the general knowledge or the knowledge level, from that we have to proceed to the next level. So, that is the proceed from known to unknown. Next one is proceed from concrete to abstract. So here what they say is concrete means whatever things which we can show to the students or we can explain with the actual demonstrations, and towards the abstract things which some concepts we may not be able to explain in the classroom. We have to think and imagine in that situations. So this is abstract. So for example, whenever we are talking about the uh, heart, the structure of heart, we can explain the heart structure with a real heart, or we can that means cadaver heart, or we can show with the models or pictures, we can show the heart. So once the layers of heart, chambers of heart, everything is clear, next we will be proceeding to the flow of heart or the pumping mechanism or the heart pumping, everything, conduction system, everything we will be discussing. So these all things cannot be demonstrated in a class with the real heart. So we are imagining something like based on these anatomical structures which we already studied, we will be imagining the conduction system and other functional abilities. So that is concrete to abstract. So this abstract concepts are also very important, just similar to the concrete. So in that situation we will be discussing first the concrete concepts, and next we will be proceeding to the abstract ideas. The third maxim is proceed from simple to complex. So every time we will be repeating the same whenever we are planning the curriculum or teaching or learning AVAT's preparation. Everywhere we will be repeating that we have to proceed from simple to complex. So simple concepts we have to explain first, then we have to proceed to the complex ideas. The next one is proceed from easy to difficult. So these both look similar, like easy to difficult. So easy subjects, easy topics will be discussing first, and we have to proceed to the difficult. So whenever we are thinking about our classes also, we will be discussing the meaning. So some concept is coming to the student's mind. Next we will be discussing about definition. Then we will be moving slowly to the difficult concepts, so that we have to think easy to difficult. That is a fourth maxim. Next one is proceed inductively. So proceed inductively, that is the use of illustrations, that is examples. So whenever we need more explanation, these illustrations or examples will complement your explanation. they will be more clear on these explanations on the concepts when you give some illustrations or examples. So that is proceed inductively. Okay. Next is proceed from general to specific, and the next one is proceed from specific to general. So the both are very important according to our topic which we want to discuss. Both will be utilized by the teacher. So proceed from general to specific. That means we will be discussing about the plant, the growth of a plant. So what are the factors which is influencing the growth of the plant, and those topics we will be discussing, and we will be coming specifically to the any any plant, or maybe we will be taking the students to the class with the pediatrics, so that we will be discussing about the growth and development of children. So that is general to specific. So general concepts, they will be knowing what are the factors which is influencing the growth of a plant or anything else. And now we are coming close to the children, and we are discussing about that particular specific topic. So we can take the students from general topic to the specific topic and proceed from specific to general. For example, we will be discussing about the important nutrients. So what are the functions of each nutrients, like protein, what does from where it is getting, and specifically what is the function of protein in our body, and different things we will be discussing. And generally, when we are observing a patient, what are the nutrient deficiencies in that particular person. So we may be looking for the calorie deficiency, protein deficiency, vitamin deficiency, everything we have to assess. If you know the specific deficiency states, then we can find these specific deficiency states in the general patient. Okay, that means when a child is coming with any nutritional disorder, what are the problems which is there and what are the reasons. So maybe a mixed nutritional deficiency state can be there. So from specific protein deficiency, vitamin deficiency, when we are studying these all specifically, we can assess a patient with a complete nutritional assessment can be done. So there is a proceed from specific to general. Proceed from indefinite to definite. So we have to just, that is a concrete to abstract, that's the opposite of that. In some situations we have to proceed from indefinite. That means the students may not be clear about the concept, so we will be raising a question. Slowly when we are explaining and explaining, it becomes very clear for the students. So that is about the proceed from indefinite to definite. Proceed from empirical to rational. That means that is the evidence should be there, or scientific evidence should be there, and from that we have to find the reason. That is the empirical to rational. So whenever we are doing some cold sponge for the patient, what is the scientific evidence of that, and what is the reason for doing that? So that we have to discuss about the scientific evidence, and we have to proceed to the reason for that or rationale for that. Then proceed from whole to parts, and in the next slide we can see the proceed from part to whole also. So both will be there as a maximum of teaching. So whole to part, that means whenever we are discussing about the sterilization methods, we will be discussing generally what are the sterilization methods, and what are the methods of sterilization, whether hot sterilization, and different methods we will be discussing. And specifically for a plastic container, how we will be sterilizing. Next, for a glass container, how we will be sterilizing. So that is a whole to parts. So in some situations, this all things are according to the topic of teaching. So according to that, we have to select from whole to parts. And in some situations, we may have to proceed from part to whole. So that means whenever we will be studying in the class like diabetes mellitus in different headings, like definition we will be discussing etiology, pathophysiology, clinical manifestations, management, everything we will be discussing. And these all knowledge we will be applying when you are getting a patient with diabetes, so that your questions will be from etiology. Your questions will be you will be looking for the pathophysiological changes, what is happening in the patient, and also you will be looking for the clinical manifestations. So some situations, some will be the some of the etiological factors will be applicable for the patient. So that is part to whole. We are dividing the content of diabetes into different parts, and we are applying in a patient as a whole. So that is part to whole. So the whole to part and the part to whole both are may be necessary in according to the content of teaching. Next is proceed from analysis to synthesis. So that is usually when we are making it, this example is when we are making a nursing care plan, we will be analyzing the situation like the already known factors we will be analyzing, etiology, clinical manifestations, and the knowledge factors, everything we will be assessing, the history, family history, everything we will be assessing. And from that we will be synthesizing a new care plan for a particular patient, so that we have a general knowledge that we will be using to analyze the situation, and we will be applying that particular thing in a new situation. So we are trying to synthesize a new matter on the basis of the analysis which we have done with that particular diabetes patient. That is proceed from analysis to synthesis. The next is proceed from overview to details. So for example, in some situations like whenever we are in second year, you might have studied about the procedures which is needed for laparotomy or any other surgical procedure. So we will be having an overview of the instruments or the articles which is required, and afterwards we will be proceeding with the details of that particular article. And also in procedures like when we are preparing for a bed making, the teacher must have explained about the articles. She will be listing down the articles first, and she will be proceeding to the details or the procedure usage of these articles. So that is overview to details. Next is proceed from observation to reasoning. So that is when applicable when we are posting the students in some wards, that we are sending the students to a particular patient, and they will be collecting the information, they will be examining the patient, and afterwards the teacher is discussing about each matter in detail. That is observation to reasoning. So we will be observing the clinical manifestations and what led to that particular manifestation, that we will be finding the details. That is the reasoning. Next is proceed from psychological to logical. This both stands for the teacher and the student. That means psychological aspect is for the students and the logical aspect comes from the teacher. So psychological aspect of the students, that means their mindset, their preparedness, their interest, whether they are ready to listen to the class at this moment. So these all things are the psychological aspects of teaching. And the logical aspects of teaching, that the teacher prepared the content and she has prepared the audiovisual aids, everything is ready and I want to take the class. That is a logical aspect of teaching. So whenever the teacher is coming to the class, every time we have to remember that the psychological aspect is very much important before the logical aspect, so that we have to see that whether the class is ready for the class, and afterwards we have to proceed with the logical matter which we have prepared for the students. So these are the some of the maxims of teaching. So maxims of teaching, it is nothing but that is a general conduct of the teacher while teaching. So they are proceed from unknown to unknown, proceed from concrete to abstract, proceed from simple to complex, proceed from easy to difficult, proceed inductively, proceed from general to specific, proceed from specific to general, both are there, proceed from indefinite to definite, proceed from empirical to rational, proceed from whole to parts, and proceed from parts to whole, proceed from analysis to synthesis, proceed from overview to details, proceed from observation to reasoning, and proceed from psychological to logical. So hope you all are clear with maxims of teaching. Thank you very much.